Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will study EMS, that stands for Environment Management Systems. In this video we will study EMS, ISO 14000 series, components or methodology of EMS, ISO 14000, principles of EMS. So, I would like to ask you, how does a country run? Any idea? A country is run by government, its policies and implementations. Every country is run by its standards to maintain a safe environment where every citizen or countrymate is happy. So, like a government, environment is also maintained by departments. Departments has its own standards, policies and rules for maintaining environmental quality and managing environmental quality by covering environmental issues for organizations in the global marketplace. So, what drives environmental laws, which are environmental protection departments run? So, who sets that standard? Who sets that laws that are run by our environmental agencies? So, here is ISO. ISO is International Organization for Standardization. Standardization of what? Standardization of laws. So this is a standard and that's how we will maintain an environmental quality. It is derived from Greek word isos, that means equal. It is a technical committee known as ISO TC 207. It was established in 1993 and it was articulated at 1992 Stockholm Conference. It began its official operations in 1947 at Geneva, Switzerland, as independent and world's largest developer of international standards. So all of the environmental laws that we see in our country are developed by ISO. In our life, we do not implement or follow things that doesn't have a benefit. So why should we implement ISO? Just because it is environmentally suitable, does that mean we should implement it or we should follow it? Yes, because it has its own benefits, like opening up world trade. ISO standards are international and adopted by governments. By integrating ISO standards into national regulation, government help to ensure that requirements for imports and exports are same all over. Like the requirements are same, so no one can cheat. It has environmental benefits. International standards help reduce negative impacts on the environment. It promotes customer satisfaction and customer confidence. It is technically credible as ISO standards represent the sum of knowledge and a broad pool of international expertise and stakeholders. It fulfills stakeholder needs and requirements as the ISO standards development process is based on international input and consensus. So it is very beneficial. That's why it is being opted and implemented all over the world. We every time we like updated version, and outdated is outdated. We do not like it. So that's the story with ISO 9000 series and ISO 14000 series. 9000 series were previous set of standards that were unable to keep environment safe in as compared to increasing pollution levels. So there was a new series of standards known as ISO 14000 series, that is updated version of ISOs that were improvised and that were better and suitable for our environment. So these were implemented afterwards. Okay, ISO 14001 was an updated version of 9000 series, but what is it? ISO published a set of standards for environmental management. This series is designed to cover a whole area of environmental issues. It is most recognized framework of EMS, and it also gives ISO certification. So, where do we see that? ISO 14000. If it is implemented, it must be seen somewhere. So, these are the logos of ISO's standards are at different times. But where do we see it? I didn't see it. Did you see it? Yes, we all have. Where? In our chips packet, around our juice, every eatable, non-eatable wheat, or everywhere, there is a stamp of ISO logos that consumable things that we consume. Beware and tell me whenever you see it. If you have an exam, or if you are going to do environmental assignment or exam, what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit at exam hall, or how are you going to achieve or pass in that? What do you do? Okay, first you must plan things, then you do things, then you check it, then you act. For example, you plan your lessons, how to do at a limited time, you manage it, and then you do it, you study well, and then you check if you have any written kind of mistakes, and then you act upon whole of the timetable. After checking, you act upon it, and that's how you pass an exam. Whoa, you got a trophy. Excellent. If you plan to go on a picnic, what do? First, do you often realize that your parents will allow going there? Some policy or house rules you must have, and then you do the further act. So this is your components or methodology of doing something. This is the most important part of EMS. It is a components and methodology. You can remember it as PDCA, poor, die, clever, arise. P for environmental policy, P for planning, D for doing or implementation, A for action. So first there is environmental policy. How are we going to do it? Environmental policy is a statement of an organization intentions, principles and framework in relation to its expected overall environmental performance that is within the overall business strategy of the firm. For example, you make a statement that your company will not make environmental issues. Your noise levels would be this. Within your company environment agenda, within your company strategy, it is written that it should not cause any harm to environment, or it is within the environmental requirements of noise, waste and other environmental issues. Next step is planning. In planning you see five components as environmental aspects, legal and other requirements, objectives and targets, and environmental management program. In your doing or implementation stage, you see structure and responsibility, training and awareness, competence, communication. EMS is documented. Document should be in control. There should be operation control. There should be emergency preparedness and response. In checking phase, you monitor and measure. If there is non-conformance or some clause is not met, you see it, you prevent actions, you see the records, you maintain records, and EMS audits would be there. In last step, there would be management review after action. There are 7 very important principles of EMS. First is polluter pay principle. It suggests that polluter would pay cost relevant to the environmental damage caused by him. Second principle is user pay principle. It states that all resources users should pay for the full long run marginal cost of the use of resource and relative services. That means that customers should pay for environmental damages caused by the product he bought. Next is precautionary principle. That principles ensure that a substance or activity posing a threat to the environment is prevented from adversely affecting environment. Effectiveness and efficacy principle. that focuses that efficiency of used resources may also be accomplished by the use of policy instruments that create incentive to minimize wasteful use. Responsibility, that every person should be responsible for their action, they should not increase pollution. Next is participation, that for minimizing environmental pollution and maintaining healthy environment, everybody should work in accordance with each other like a teamwork. Proportionality, it is based on the concept of balance. A balance is to be maintained between economic development on the one hand and environmental protection on the other hand, so no one should raise from the other. So in this lecture we studied EMS, ISO 14000 series, components and principles of EMS. I hope it is clear. If you like the video, do like that video, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you.